Jordache jeans. I never wore them, but they were all the rage when I was in high school. I was a Lee or Levi's type of gal. Let's face it, and no shade on Jordache or the women who wore them. They had a lot of activity on the back pocket. And as an Italian chick, I didn't need any more activity going on back there. And you're probably saying, Queen of Wands, why are you telling us this? Well, there is a reason. I've never been one to follow the crowd. So, again, oh, and welcome to Coffee and Tarot time. I've never been one to follow the crowd. Same thing with accumulating just a ton of friends. Although now this is I think the most I've ever had because of all my followers. I consider you all friends. But anyway, I've never changed my tarot card reading style, and followed or anybody else or whatever. I mean, I've admired, trust me, I admire and I watch other readers. There are some truly gifted readers out there. I just sit there and I'm like, oh my God. But I've never been one to follow the crowd. So anyway, happy Thursday. Welcome to Coffee and Tarot time. I hope you all are having an enjoyable week. We have the craziest weather in my neck of the woods, which of course we would. It's crazy, like the people who live here. All right, I'm just teasing. Or am I? All right, using Morgan Greer. This is another amazing deck. And you'll notice I posted, it was a repost. It was talking about the Toth deck. I've never, T-O-T-H, if I'm saying that correctly. I've never had a really strong connection to that deck. Doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it good. I gave you my review as a reader, how I felt about it. But I like Morgan Greer because another one, if you are a beginning tarot card reader, it's good. Okay, it's really good to use this deck too. Her cards are they're just there, like it's easy. And I like visuals because it always prompts you to read things, in a more psychic, sort of empathic way. I mean, there's two ways to read tarot cards. You could just strictly buy the book, put the cards together, or you can make a story. I usually make a story if most of you have been following me for a while. I have my microphone on. Like how I say that? I have another device here, but we're not sure what that does. Okay, we don't be pressing buttons in the middle of recording. So anyway, let's see what we have. Let's take a looky-see. Ah, the Hierophant. I love this card. This is the card of Taurus. This is the card of family. It's the card of culture, tradition. It makes us come together. There's something that will make us come together and unite. I like this card because when you put it up against another card, hold on there, just hold on. We're drawing a lot of majors. So we draw the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is usually about taking your own counsel, being very, very psychic, kind of going within. You know how sometimes, and I've been guilty of this too. I'm right along with everyone. You ask too many people their opinion on something. So now you have like 20 opinions and you're no better off than when you were the first time. And I always get with the High Priestess is that she really just takes her own counsel. But I feel like a lot of you are going to go back to family values. You may have gotten away from something, okay? And you're going to kind of go back to it. So, I mean, a lot of different things. Maybe, in the dating world, you were too, what's the word I want to use? Because I don't want to insult anyone. I'm wondering what Luna's chasing. You let too many things slide in, okay? Where you have to set your standards if you want something to happen, you have to learn how to set your standards. When it comes to dating relationships, I always say women set the narrative. They do for the most part. But I mean, I think that you're going to start going back to tradition. You're like, you know what? It's kind of like old school. Like, you know what? You have to be the one who kind of does the guy thing. And I hate to say that because a lot of women are like, women's lib. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I say bullshit to that. Like, I still like car doors open. I still like the guy to make the first move. I think a lot of that has kind of gone by the wayside. And when it's gone by the wayside, we have allowed bad behavior to come in. Okay. And we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to get too cynical, though, either. There's that fine line. And the high priestess, she kind of knows that fine line. But I think for a lot of us, we are about to go back to tradition, culture, old school, things that would make, and I hope I don't get bad comments for this, but things that make a man feel like a man and a woman feel like a woman. I mean, I'm not getting specific into genders, but at some point one has to be, the chaser, one's the runner and all that stuff. But I think a lot of women are deciding, I'm going to go with female version here, but they're going back to tradition. I think maybe a lot of us are. We're going back to tradition. If it was healthy tradition, I mean, only what's in your capsule of culture there. As long as it was healthy, that's where you're going back to. And you're kind of getting away from asking everybody. Remember, everybody always brings their own yardstick when they come to measure. So anyway, no, I never wore those jeans. Like I said, when you're an Italian chick, you got a little bit going on in the tush anyway. You don't want to draw any attention to it. So I like my little curves and stuff, and I'm not about to give them up. So eat that ice cream and that pizza. All right, everyone, this is Coffee and Tarot time. I am the Queen of Wands. Everyone, have a great day.